What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Welcome back to a devastating episode.
Why devastating?
We are both engaged, which I guess it's a good thing for
Yes.
us, right?
Yes, it's been so much happening, and so good to bring back like a little bit of an introduction, but also a recap. Obviously, we've kind of been like haven't posting as much, been so busy with life. So we do apologize for the people who are been so consistently and supportive and everything. Obviously, we're trying to get back, and we will. It's just been so much happening. As Chris was saying, he got engaged a little bit ago. I just got engaged, and it was really remarkable. And we came back from a nice trip. Chris was there, his fiance was there, my now fiance was there, of course, as well. So it's been a lot. So forgive us for kind of slacking a little bit, but we're gonna make it up to you guys.
So yeah, we're engaged. We're both engaged, and we actually had a question.
Yes, somebody had said, we always like to hear our audience, and someone goes, both of you now engaged. Talk about recently engaged men, feelings, planning. I guess, like she kind of wants to get the inside scoop of how it's like.
I think it's pretty great. I think we touched up on mine already, but now that we're
Yes.
both engaged, little backstory. So I engaged him. I proposed to my fiance in September,
Yeah.
I think. I don't remember anymore. Time's flying. No, August.
Yes.
August, and you did it in September.
September.
Yeah, and yeah, mine was kind of just quick to pull the trigger. Yours was a little bit more planned out. You did yours in Bali, very important
Yes.
kind of destination for you
Destination for
guys.
us,
You've been
for
there many
sure.
times yourself. You and your fiance have also been there a couple
Yeah.
times, few times. So it made sense for you guys to kind of make that moment the time for you guys to get
Yeah.
engaged and doing it.
It was really special and was amazing, and I obviously want to thank you again. And people who follow us on social media, they've seen the pictures and the videos and all that stuff like that. You were a big part of it, and so was your fiance Christina. She took the most amazing pictures, and I was super happy and super honored to have her there, and you as well, of course. And so it was really special. It was really nice to do it all there.
So let me ask you, talk about the planning for you
Yeah, it was
leading up to the scare of one, the ring
yeah,
being ready on time, and two, you not even making it on the flight.
on the second flight, I guess. Yeah, there was so many moving parts, and that was my biggest concern because it wasn't like, okay, it's something in Miami, something like local where we live that, if something goes wrong, like, okay, you can always do it another time. But like, I had a certain window and I had to meet that window, and so the ring, I think I ordered the ring so far in advance, but like you could only do so much because I try to take advantage of the store's policy, and just in case there was something wrong about resizing,
Resizing, the type,
settings, yeah, all kinds of stuff. So they had a 30-day window, but after the ring is done, you only have 30 days. Like literally once it's complete, not once you pick it up, which is kind of weird. So I had to place the order just right on time in order to make for it to make sense. And I gave myself plenty of time just in case there were any delays. However, the delay was so substantial that I didn't get the ring until the Friday before we left.
it wasn't that bad. So we left on Monday, and the thing is, I had to be shipped on time, and shipping perhaps would not have gone on the weekend, maybe Saturday.
Saturday.
And you were supposed to get the ring on Wednesday or Thursday.
Originally, I was supposed to get it the week before that. That's what the agent told me. But then,
Oh,
once it was placed, they're like, oh well, the actual delivery date is gonna be a few days after that. And I'm like, okay, that sucks, but okay, we can do with that. And then they were like, oh, we don't really know, but we think it's gonna get here on Wednesday. Wednesday they didn't ship it out, so we're like, oh, probably Thursday. It's like, okay, it's Thursday, didn't ship it out either, and then they shipped it out. I think Friday morning. I want to say
I thought they received it like Thursday night.
they received it. When did I call? I picked it up on Friday, so they shipped it out Thursday afternoon.
So it was pretty tight
It
because
was tight.
if it wasn't the weekend, then Monday we were leaving.
Yeah, and
Late,
then-
but still. I mean, if you didn't have it by Friday, you probably would have been shitting bricks.
I was
that
yeah, I was already on edge because it's like you plan so many different things, the proposal, like the dinner, the everything, the tickets, the whole shebang, everything was planned out. And then the one piece that you needed in order to make this happen, I didn't have. So they were like, "Oh well, we can give you like a show,
loaner.
like a loaner that looks similar, but it's not exactly the same. But at least you have something to show for." And I'm like, "Oh, it's not really something I want to do." And they're like, "Yeah, no, but just in case you need it." I'm like, "Okay, I guess, but let's try to get the ring that I wanted."
Sure.
And so we got it. They did a good job, and long story short, it was stressful because I wanted to make it special, and it's a once in a lifetime kind of moment. So, I guess proposed September 18, I think it was, and the planning started back in, I want to say April, late April.
Jeez.
It took months to make this happen because I wanted to find the right restaurant, the right location to do it. I had to, Ari, the person in Bali, our
Our
driver,
Ari.
he kind of figured, like, try to find the right spots and whatever. It was a lot of things, and so I think it's one moment that takes like what, a few seconds, but depending on how you do it, it could take a long time to kind of make happen. But I'm very glad it worked out kind of perfect. And
You call it perfect? This man, so we had 2 flights. We had a connecting flight with a 50-minute layover.
Yeah,
This guy thought it was a great idea to have 50-minute layover.
55 minutes.
Anyways, 13-hour flight from Miami to Qatar. That one's delayed.
It was delayed out of Miami.
So mind you, with the 55-minute layover, we're now chipping away at that time. We land in Qatar. The gates are closed. We can't get on a connecting flight.
Yeah.
Which was tough because then we weren't the only ones. I think there was other people also. So then think about it. Okay, the next flight was at 2 a.m. that same day. So it was 7 hours.
Yeah, 7 hours
difference.
later.
And since this motherfucker was flying standby,
Yeah, it was.
he had to run the risk to see if he even got on the flight. And that's that. There was no guarantee. There's no spaces, and whatever spaces were available were pushed from whoever didn't make it because of the other delay. So then we end up getting on the flight. That was at 2 a.m., 7 hours later. Not you. And we land there around like 10, 11 o'clock. We get picked up. By the time we get to the Airbnb, it's like, Airbnb.
Evening, early evening.
It was like, no, it was midnight.
By the time you guys got there?
Yeah, we got there late. By the time we got to the Airbnb, it was late. It was
Oh,
like
wow.
11 o'clock or 10 o'clock or some shit like that.
Shit, that's late,
It was late, or like 9 or some shit, but it wasn't like that early.
Yeah.
We landed whatever, we get there, and then we realized that, Marvin wasn't able to get on that flight. And it's like that, the morning after is when this guy is planning on proposing. So it's
Yes.
like, okay, we need you to get on the next flight.
Yeah. Yes, and then that ended up getting on the other flight, which happened like
No,
another
that's
5
right, yeah,
hours
we
after.
landed earlier. You landed like at midnight.
I
like 11 or
landed
some
like
shit.
at 10:30.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I landed late.
We landed like at 4 or 5.
Yeah. And then, so by the time I got to the Airbnb, obviously Claudia was waiting for me. It was like midnight-ish. I laid to bed, and then I was like, fuck. I laid there, I went to sleep, and about just like 7 hours later, I was proposing.
12-hour time difference.
Yes.
Traveling for more than 24 hours,
Yes.
especially you with your extremely long
Yes.
layover. Rarely got any sleep. I think you did get a little bit of sleep on the flight.
5 hours. Oh, the
But
flight, yes. On second flight.
On the flight, you slept. I didn't sleep at all. I was
out.
miserable the next day. But with all that being said, wake up the next day bright and early to do your proposal.
To do the proposal, and then I was so nervous. I wanted to find the perfect spot because then Christina was taking, your fiance was taking the picture. Then you had the drone, and I'm like, is this the right spot? I was so nervous.
And then the whole time trying to have Claudia surprised, where she's like, "What's the big deal?" Like,
Yeah,
we
like,
ju-
oh,
we've
we-
already taken some pictures. This is
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah, and she's
She
like,
starts getting suspicious. She starts looking around like, "What is this guy? Like, why is it so important to get a good shot?"
yeah,
here?"
like, why you guys making such a big deal about this location? Like, it's fine. And I'm like,
It's
no,
like,
no,
we know Christina's here with her camera.
Yeah.
We need pictures
We
of
need
Bali for the portfolio.
content and
We want to make sure it's
yeah.
good, just nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be suspicious.
And so, and then I proposed, and she had an idea. She, the way everything kind of worked out, like she had a good idea. She didn't know what's gonna happen that specific time, but she had a good.
Well, she knew I was going to be on the trip. Remember, so we had to receive blessings from our in-laws.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And why don't you share the story of, because I almost got outed. I'll tell you my story quickly. I said it before. I almost got outed because I had to go speak with my in-laws. And then my in-laws, before I actually proposed, they tell their parents, their
Yes.
father. He then calls my fiance to be at the time and says, "Hey, congratulations!" An hour before I'm gonna propose. And then she had other great things happening in her life, so she was thinking, "Oh, it must be because of that." So then she's like, "Yeah, I thank you. Like, we did this and that. It's awesome." Not talking about the proposal. She doesn't know yet. And then it almost like he was like confused. He's just like, "Okay, bye." And then I'm like, holding my breath. But I almost got it kind of blown over.
You
But
d-
for you,
you
you actually did.
Yeah, you dodged the bullet, and I got fucking
You got
straight
you got like
centerpiece.
this.
So what happened was that I went to her parents' apartment, and we had her sisters there, and so she, one of her sisters obviously has kids, and so one of the sisters' daughters was there, and she saw me. She's young, she's a little girl, she's a little kid, and she was playing, and she saw me, and I did at the moment I didn't think anything of it. Like she's cute, she's playing, whatever, no big deal. And then do I get the blessings? We talked, the family, the sisters laughed, cried, all that. Good stuff. It was really good. And I guess my fiance Claudia, she saw her niece. I think about 2 weeks after that, or a week and a half after that, or something like that. And then her niece was like, "Oh, like how come Marvin was at the apartment but you weren't there?" And she was like, "What? Yeah." And she was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, Marvin was at the apartment, but where were you?" And so obviously she was like, "Why was Marvin at the apartment?" And then she already
Without
put,
me.
yeah,
Or
without
it didn't
me.
tell me.
It didn't tell me, like there's only one reason I would be there without telling her that I was there.
Sneaky Marvin got caught with his
So
hand in the cookie
exactly.
jar.
So she was like, "Well, he must have asked for the blessing, because she knew it was important to her, and
Yeah.
we already talked about it, and I'm glad I did it. And, I don't regret it. But in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, maybe the little girl the niece shouldn't have been there. I'm like, oh fuck, but
Blew your
gonna do.
cover.
But yeah, so she at that point she was already
She had
so
an
yeah.
idea, wasn't sure, but she's like, I think it's gonna happen. And I think once we started like trying to look for the right spot at the rice fields,
Yeah,
she's almost like
he's
this
like,
this
yeah,
guy.
like we're on a big trip to Bali. I know that he only wants to do it out of the country on the trip. Christina's there, a photographer. Like,
Well, we
okay,
tried selling it as a group trip,
we did the best we could, and I was
but
kind of bummed. It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
so many moving parts.
Yes, and then she's like, no, don't be sorry. Like, I loved it. It was amazing. It was remarkable. The dinner, the surprise in the room, all the flowers, all that stuff. Like, she loved all of it. So, but yeah, so that's kind of how my proposal went, and it took a lot.
An amazing trip it was. We got to spend time with our significant
Yes,
others
with
all
each
together. I thought
other.
that was also a really good
It
time.
was
I had
really,
a blast, and thank you
yeah.
for the invitation. I
Thank you
think
for joining. It was literally, I mean, obviously, it was a huge trip, literally across the world, thousands of
literally
miles.
complete opposite side, but
12,
it was
yeah.
totally worth
Yeah,
it.
so for sure. So this is where we are now. So we got back, and so the question was like, how is
What's
life now?
next?
Yeah.
What's
So,
happening?
Yeah,
Updates.
exactly. So obviously we've been living together for officially for since the beginning of the year. Definitely gonna get married. Small, no wedding. Funny enough, we had actually went to the courthouse already to do some paperwork.
Dude.
And then, so what happens is you do the paperwork, and I didn't know this, so it's not you can't get married right away. You do the paperwork.
It's like an application.
Yeah, so online first you do a preliminary application online, then you
Really?
schedule an appointment at the courthouse. You go, you show ID, you do the paperwork, you swear, oh, da, 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 and then you have to wait 3 days, 72 hours. And after they give you paper, you have to get it notarized and all that, depending on who does it. And then after 72 hours, you go back, you turn in the paper, and only then you are technically legally married. They submit it, they file it, it gets submitted in the system, and at that point, that's it. You are like legally married. So we did the first step. So now we just have to get it notarized, get it signed. So I think we just talked about it. We're probably gonna do it at the beginning of November, and
That's in
then
a couple of weeks.
yeah, a couple of weeks, and then her aunt is probably gonna get like marry us, and she does that, and so it's gonna be meaningful for her. After that, when we turn it in, we'll just me and her have like a nice romantic dinner. I already have a couple ideas, like just all for us to spend some time together once we submitted it, and that's it. And that's it. And
Married.
then obviously after that, she'll change her last name, and that's it. Fuck it.
But let me ask you: do you think that like was she okay with being something so simple like that?
Yeah,
You
100%.
sure?
Well, I mean,
Think about it.
yeah, I think so. Cause I asked her like, yeah, is you okay with this? And I'm like, yeah, 100%,
100%.
100%. So, and I mean, this is what we were on. Like,
Is that what her family wants?
her family just? Oh, forgive me. So we do all the paperwork. We submit everything. We're gonna have, and obviously, you have to be there. So in December, we're gonna have like a little celebration, just to like we have a little party. Your family's there. Her family, my family, our loved ones, which are obviously you're included. And I think it's gonna be December 14th, something like that. It's a Saturday. You got to be there. And so it's just a huh? It's just a celebration for everybody to come together, which we've talked about. Like that's what I care about. I care about the people that
Yeah, I
really mean
agree.
the world to me.
I agree.
Some good food, maybe some drinks, da, 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 just a good conversation, good laughs and stuff like that. That's gonna be it, and that's our celebration. That's it, and that's where we are.
So Marvin's living life on easy mode in this situation because me, I'm not that stressed, but I know Christina's stressed, and she's projecting that stress heavy.
So what updates do you have like
So,
on your front of being
dude, there's
engaged?
just so much. Okay, so background: Christina's a photographer, and she's also the only daughter of three children of her parents.
Okay.
So the youngest, the daughter, and she's a photographer, and most of her photography is done at weddings, events, couples. So it's almost as if I feel she's always had this fairy tale type of romantic, and oh my god, look how beautiful. It was very traditional in the sense of growing up. So she would love an extravagant wedding.
Yeah.
With these times and our current situation really isn't in the books or in the cards, but we're still kind of getting all the planning done. We are going to have a wedding. We're going to have an engagement party. We want to do a honeymoon. There's just a lot. So for instance, she was talking to me the other day of like planning just for the engagement party, which is
coming up.
next month,
Oh, fuck.
November.
Yes.
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 So all the engaged party, she goes, "Oh, we need like a welcome sign." And then I'm like, "Okay, cool." She goes, "Oh, which one do you like?" So she'll send me one. I'm like, "Oh, I like that one." And then she sends me like two other ones. She goes, "What about these?" And I'm like, "I like the first one." She goes, "Oh, but what about this third one?" So we go through like 3 or 4 pages of Etsy templates of
and then
welcome
if you say,
signs.
oh, okay, no, the third one, she's gonna be like, oh, you sure? But what?
Listen, that's just the welcome sign. Then we want to have a neon sign with our initials. What font do you like? What color of light do you want the neon sign to be? The tables, do we want flowers? Do we want candles? But if we have candles, it's gonna get blown out if it's windy. So then we got to get the glass. But then the glass is ugly because then we got to clean it after. So we want to have the trays. The lights. Well, what kind of food are we gonna have? This is just the engagement party.
Yeah.
Anyways, how many people are gonna be there? Where is everybody gonna be sitting? What else? What are we gonna be drinking? Cause we got a bar, like one of those mobile bar things, and it's like, oh, we get to pick 4 different drinks. Do we want beer? Do we want wine? If we want cocktails, what kind of cocktails do we want? We're talking about it on the car, right? Yeah. What color is gonna be the theme? We talked about at one point Italian theme. All these lemons on the table. Luckily, there's no lemons on anything. We got rid of that theme, but now white and black, very chic, very very nice, clean. And this is just the engagement party. I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't stopped talking, and I've already said more than you did.
Yes.
And you already included your wedding, and
Yeah,
everything is
yeah.
done. Your celebration is done with
Yeah.
everything. I'm still in the engagement party, so I fear of what planning for the wedding is actually going to look like after. Fear. Because we already know where it's going to be. It's going to be in the parents' backyard. They have a very beautiful backyard.
Stunning.
And it actually opens up to the golf course. And I think they're going to allow us to have some access, actually, to the golf course
Oh, okay.
for the wedding. So I think it's going to actually be really cool.
Sounds
So as soon as you open up, what?
seems like a liability.
No, but it's going to be like in the evening when it's already like they're done.
close.
And the backyard has like a big part of what's called the rough. So it's like where you don't really, you hit it there if you suck. So it's unlikely that it's going to be
Okay.
an issue, if it even were the case. But planning on having something out there, so there's a lot
Beautiful.
more space, and then we'll kind of transition everybody to the backyard where the party will be at. I think it's gonna be very very nice. But yeah, and then then she's got to look for dude, her engagement party dress. Bro, it's like tabs and tabs and tabs and tabs of different dresses, and it's like, oh, but this one is short. Oh, but this one's long. This one has a slit. This one doesn't. Oh, but look at the back on this one. Oh, but look at, brother, it's a lot. I don't even know what I'm wearing.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask.
I
you.
have no idea. I don't know what I should wear
Like
because
a
I
s-
thought
do you wear like a suit
I
or?
want to wear a suit, but I guess I have to wear a suit, like a button down.
I mean, I feel like you're gonna figure it out. Like that's gonna be easy for you.
I think so.
It's gonna be.
That's why I'm trying
depending
not
on
to be
how it
stressed.
depends what she wears, and then you can maybe complement that.
I mean, I already. The point is, there's a lot going on
Yeah,
when
yeah,
it comes
yeah.
to planning an engagement party. So if you're getting engaged, just know that this is to come. Also, know that the moment you get engaged, they're gonna start asking you, when's the wedding? Do you have a
yeah.
date yet? And a bunch of other questions. And I didn't know that. I thought I could be engaged for a little bit of time.
Yes.
I thought I was able to,
Yes,
to
yeah.
enjoy my engagement, call her my fiance. Oh yeah, you see, I'm no more girlfriend status, fiance mode.
Yeah.
Can't even do that. Immediately, everyone's
Can't
already
breathe.
hounding
Yeah,
you. She's
yeah.
at the point where she's like, "Oh, you know what I would love? What if we had an engagement party that turned into the wedding?" And I'm like, dude. Now, granted, that would have basically
Ye-
kind of been okay for you because you're like, whatever, yeah, like let's get this over with, like celebration, whatever, we're done, sign the
Yeah.
paper. Where me, like, I thought I could enjoy this part, but apparently I can't. I need to rush through this.
That's tough, dude.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm very happy, and I know that this is very exciting, and when the moment comes, it's going to be amazing. But I did not expect things to be moving as fast as they should have. I
Yeah.
thought I could enjoy this moment a little bit, enjoy my fiance. I can't. I
Yes.
can't I'm still trying to get used to calling her fiance. By the time I get used to it, I gotta call her my wife,
Yes.
which I guess is not a bad thing. But Jesus,
So engagement party this November, and then wedding 2025 and or 2026.
we're looking at anything by the end of 2025. Potentially beginning of 2026, but I think that's unlikely. I think it's going to be the end of 2025, so a little over a year.
Okay.
So, which I think it makes sense because there's just so many things that we've already had planned. Like we have already trips that are planned. Then we want to talk about the engagement party. The house that they bought is getting remodeled, so that's a lot of expenses. I said the trips, right? Ski
Yeah,
trips, and all these
trips
other
and
things that
stuff,
we have
yeah.
going on. And so then it's going to be the wedding. So there's a lot that's going on, but I mean, everything's gonna fall into place eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it's that, and then I gotta look for a suit, and then she's gotta look for another dress, and then we gotta look for rings, and there's just so much that I did not know was taken into consideration when it came to a wedding, let alone just an engagement, just proposing.
Yes, 100%. So you talked about rings, like, because it took so long for me to find the perfect engagement ring for her, and she loves
You?
it.
Oh, well, you
Yeah.
were very
It was specific, I think I did. I not for anything. I think I did a good job. We did have to get it resized.
Oh,
It was a little
okay.
bit too big for her. We sent it in, and it took about a week and a half. Not too long actually. And now it fits perfect. She loves it. But now that I didn't know that you get married and you need a wedding band. I didn't
You
know.
didn't
but
know
yeah,
that?
I mean, not until very recently.
So what did you expect? You had to wear something. You thought you're the only one that got the ring?
I thought I'm the only one who's gonna get a ring, but then she's gonna get another ring, which is the wedding band. So then she's like, "Oh, what do you think about it?" And I'm like, "Dude, I picked your engagement. You fucking pick your wedding ring, dude. Whatever you like, I think I'm gonna love it." And she's already closed in on with some, but that's again, it's another thing that you got to take care, like into consideration.
So you
Fucking
didn't know
never
that?
ends. I didn't really know that.
Yeah, dude, you have
I
your
didn't
wedding band.
Wedding bands,
the
yeah.
engagement ring, and
Now
then
I
you put 'em
know.
together.
And then you put them together, and I guess
Stack
down
'em.
the line, some people they only wear the wedding band, or vice versa. More likely the wedding
That's
band.
what I thought actually, but apparently no, you still wear both.
Really, because I've seen people only wear the wedding band, or if they go on a trip, maybe they leave the engagement ring behind or something like that. Something like that. But again, it just goes to show you so many fucking moving parts. Like you think like, okay, now I'm engaged. Like, oh fuck, I can chill. And then it says, okay, what's next? So, and it's not like we don't have day jobs. Like if like we still have or jobs or careers, things that we're trying to achieve. Then we still have our friends, we still have our partner, and you still got to plan all that on top of that. So it's like, could be a little bit overwhelming, man.
So I kind of want to like make a statement in terms of we talk about how important the wedding and all these things are, but I don't want to get too lost into it.
Yes.
Because I feel like if you make it such a highlight in your life, it's almost like you almost feel like, okay, well, what's next, right? Like if this is where the best part, it's almost like, okay, well, that passed. Like what else do I have to look forward to?
Yeah.
And the reason why I say is because I did see this video and I didn't really realize it, and I had sent it to you and I commented like, imagine you plan all the details for the most amazing time of your life, that once it's done, you feel empty. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because for me, like I really look forward, and then I don't know if it's maybe like a man's type of thing. Like I'm at the point with my fiance that like I'm very like that's my best friend. I'm very happy with her. I look forward to hanging out with her. And then there was even another video that I sent you that's like these guys that are like, oh, after like a 3-day vacation of just me and my girlfriend, like I'm already going crazy by the end of the first night.
Yes.
And it's like, dude, like why are you even in a relationship with this person if you can't even stand being with them, right? But I do want you to play this video. And we'll kind of overlay it because it's like she was like, oh, like no one talks about the feeling of after your wedding. It's like I have this high point in my life, and now I have nothing else to look forward to. So I'm gonna let you play it on your end. It's gonna be that one. Nice. Okay. So go ahead and play it.
This one.
Yeah.
If you okay.
I won't be able to, but I kind of know what it is.
Damn, I could see that. I wanted to read what you were saying.
Yeah, hold it. Read it out loud.
I hold it like this.
Yeah, sure.
Um, I tell you not well. I feel like there's a big hole in my life. I'm struggling with the empty space, identity, and understanding what's next. I feel unmotivated to get back to my normal life, and I'm mourning a version of myself. Oh shit, it went away. That's missing or something like that. It went away. I mean, I could see that, especially because this looks like a huge wedding. You know, we have the editor put it on top. This looks like a huge wedding. Think about it, like months and maybe even up to a year of planning everything, and then it's 12 hours happens. Wow, amazing pictures. Go to sleep. You wake up the next morning, and that's it. It's over. And the people that you invited, however many people, they go back to their normal lives. They showed up once, for a few hours, had a laugh, da 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 da. Who knows? They go back to their normal lives, and then so do you. So how do you go back to that? That has to be extremely difficult, especially, and it becomes even more difficult the more you plan, the more grandiose that wedding becomes.
Right,
Right?
and that's kind of where I'm at when that I hope that Christina doesn't feel like that, because it's almost like this is a really big moment for her. There's a really big deal. And I don't think that she's going to rebound that way, in the sense that she's going to be like, okay, well, now what's next? But it is a little bit scary that I guess people do feel like this, that once the wedding is over, you made this such a big moment in your life where it mattered so much that it almost defined you at one point.
Yeah.
Then now once it was over, you're like, well, now what's there to look forward to? Like, this was the highlight of my life. I guess this is it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's such a shitty way of looking at it, because of the stress that sometimes you get involved of having to plan all these things.
Yeah.
And yeah, it should be a beautiful moment, but I think it's also like opening up a next chapter. Like you're still writing your book, right? You're still writing your story.
Yeah.
And I think that the wedding should, like, after the wedding and you get that moment, it's like, well, what else can we make from this? Like, what else is our life going to come to as we grow together now as husband and wife? So it's kind of shitty when you see that, like when it gets like so highlighted that you're like, fuck.
I don't really, it's tough for me to understand, like, okay, you love each other and you show this to the world by spending thousands of dollars and planning the flowers, the music, the food, this and this, and for this one event. I don't know. I don't know if it doesn't seem to be making that much sense. I mean, of course, if you have it, why not? But all that for just one day of a few hours of celebration, and like, I don't know. It's if that's what you want to do with your money and resources, whatever. I guess it makes sense for you, but it's tough. It's tough, especially when when you understand like the time of energy and money resources it takes to kind of make this day happen. But yeah, like I can see how people could feel empty afterwards, right? Because you're like, man, like okay, like I did all this thing for 6 months, 8 months, a year. It's over. Okay, now what? I guess people go on the honeymoon after, and then whatever. But it could be a challenge. So I mean, let us know how that goes.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen to us, but I'm pretty sure we'll be fine.
You guys will be good. But what else? Like, what do you, is there anything that you feel different now that you're engaged and like like you're not a boyfriend anymore, you're fiance? Like, does it feel different? Is it the same? Does it was it a little bit of an adjustment to stop calling her your girlfriend, but rather your fiance?
There's still times that I have to catch myself, or that I'll say, and I'm like, sorry, my fiance.
Yeah.
But I don't think I think more for her than anything. Dude, like for me, like none of this really, like, it's important, but it really isn't gonna change how much I love her or how much I want to be with her. It's not gonna make me want to be with her more because I gave her the ring. And maybe for her it does feel like that, and maybe for most women it feels like that.
Maybe a little bit an extra layer of security. If
right.
that.
I think women see like, oh well, I'm not gonna do wifey duties unless I'm wifed up. Like or how do I know? Like it's been so long, you won't give me a ring. Like I don't know how women really see that. Well, I mean, it also depends on the guy that you're with, and I don't think that she has that problem with me, where it's like, oh, like you're not giving me a ring, do you not love me? It's almost like, yo, like I want a ring because I want to be married. Like that's just how she feels. She wants to be married, I think most women feel like that, yeah, but I don't think it's about like, oh, well, you're not gonna lock me down because if you don't give me a ring. I don't think it was ever like that.
No.
Um, but I think for her, it probably makes a little bit. It's more important for her. Well, we should have an episode with the girls, see how they feel about this. But it's like, I think it's more important for women getting the ring, and for them, it's probably means a lot more, and things probably change. For me, dude, nothing's changed. Like I still love her the same, if not more, every single day. I'm happy that I'm with her. We were literally all day together. And now I'm sleepy, but like we had a photo shoot together and it was like super fun. Like we had it was exciting and just like even driving, it was like 45-minute drive to get to the location. And we're just there listening to music, talking shit. Like dude, like my best friend, you know, and that's always how I've seen her. Like I don't know. Like the fact that I can say that I'm with my best friend, it's a very nice feeling. That's a nicer feeling than being engaged. But then again, maybe it goes hand in hand. Maybe that's why she's like we're engaged. That's why I proposed to her, because I see her like that. I see her so close that she is my best friend, and I love spending time with her. I love being with her. I love her. And it's like, well, if I'm gonna be engaged, that's the kind of person you want to be engaged to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
No, 100%.
maybe it is a little bit different, but for me, like if I never gave her the ring, I would still love her the same, and I'd still be the same way.
Yes, I don't know, like not much has changed. Like obviously, like we joke around like, oh, my fiance, blah blah blah, and tell friends and stuff like that and family. Obviously, everybody's super happy and stuff like that. But to me, I'm just so blessed to come home to someone that I love so unconditionally. Like she's such a remarkable woman, and I'm so blessed to have her. And honestly, having her by my side is the greatest gift, and I thank God every day for it because she's such a beautiful human being. And
I
so
thought he was awesome.
she's awesome. She's the best. And there was a video that you sent me, and same thing about like, oh, you going on vacation with your girl, like how many days?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I had a friend that I spoke to, and he was on vacation too, like a while ago.
Should play that video too.
Yeah, I'll play it. But just to circle off, like he's like, oh, yeah, I was on vacation with my girl, but like for like a week or so. And he's like, well, like I was like after, like I was like, yo, I was ready to get the fuck out of there. Like I was like, oh, I was with my girl, but like a week, I'm like, dude, I could spend. I've been with my girl on a trip for 3 weeks, and I would come home and I'm like, damn, this is not enough. Like I just, dude, I love her so much, and I want to. If I could be with her every fucking moment, I would. Like I don't have a problem. Like I love her so much to the fact that it's like, no, but like I have no problem of like being on a trip with her for like 3 weeks, or like some people are like, oh, I'm on a trip for like the week, and I'm like, oh, I need a break.
Yeah, you get sick and tired of them. Go ahead and
no,
play the video.
I'll play the video.
Yeah,
so
check the video out.
for let me see, where is it? How far down?
It's one of the recent ones.
Wait a second. This one.
What's the longest you could be on a trip? Is you and your girl like the longest? 5 days, 5 nights.
With your girl?
With your girl.
4 days.
Yeah, 4 days,
3
3
nights.
My nigga. My nigga. After that,
With
it's
your
getting
girl. All right, we gotta go home, son.
I got a permanent headache now. First of all, because you talking OD.
God.
It's just you and me. It's no
And then if
distractions.
it's nobody else there on the trip, you sick. Like
That's what I'm saying. It's not like you could go hang out with people. It's just you and her having every meal, every drink, every conversation, every experience. God.
Sounds like amazing to me. Sounds amazing. With my girl, with my fiance, fucking amazing.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
I don't get it.
So like to me, it's like, and I pray I never feel that way, because if I do, like that's something would be wrong. Because it's like, dude, like you married somebody or you're with somebody, like, hey, I want to spend the rest of my life with that person, especially now that we're engaged. Like that's essentially what we're saying. I can't imagine like feeling that way about her. So
Right, and it's not like we got engaged because we have to get engaged because we've been dating for X amount of time and that's like what you're supposed to do. Like no, like I'm glad that I'm engaged to her. Like I'm glad that
Yes.
that we took that next step, because this is what a relationship should look like. It should be one that you want to be with your partner, that you want to hang out with them, that you want to spend time with them, that you look for opportunities to be with them. And man, every day that goes by that I'm with Christina, don't get me wrong, bro, like we get into our little scuffles sometimes, and I'm like, fuck,
yeah, of course.
but I can't imagine not having those. Like I love having them with her because just I know that like for me, I see it as us being able to work through situations, and because some of those little things are like silly, but it teaches us of how to navigate through things, and the fact that we're working together to really navigate through things that maybe we're not comfortable talking about, or maybe things that we disagree on, it really makes us come to a resolution that only proves that we can do this, that we can actually be together, and on top of the fact that we look forward to being together and we enjoy being together, like, dude, I think that we're very blessed. And this is kind of what you want to strive for. You want to look for someone that you feel this way for.
Yeah.
Not to just settle with someone and then, oh, well, he's a piece of shit, or, oh, I can't stand being with her. I can't be with her for fucking 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking propose to her? Like, you're gonna be with her for the rest of your life, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why you'd even settle to being with someone that you don't even want to be.
But yeah, because it's like you
Wait.
don't have to be. Like no one's putting a gun to you. I hope that no one's putting a gun to your head and be like, yo, you have to be with this person. So if you feel like, yo, like I can't even be a week with my significant other, it's like, dude, like you are with the wrong person. Because if you feel like if you're with the right person, you wouldn't feel this way.
So now if we're talking about like what's to come
Yeah.
moving forward, I think we kind of covered that. But in your situation, do you get a bachelor party?
I was someone at my work was like, "Oh, you're gonna have like a bachelor party?" I'm like, "I don't think so, because we're just gonna get married. Like, we don't have a wedding. We just have like a little, I guess, a wedding celebration." But
I'll have one, so maybe the coffee breakup can have one. You can come with me.
yeah, what are
No.
you doing for your bachelor party?
I don't know yet. She was talking about her
Ah.
bachelor. She wants to do she wants to do something in California with like her close friends. Some like cute, like stupid shit and like cutesy shit. Me, I don't know. Like, I do want to travel. I don't want to travel too far.
Like domestically, maybe.
No, not even. Maybe something like a Caribbean island, beachy.
Okay.
I was thinking like maybe like a Costa Rica type thing.
Oh, nice.
Even DR. I know of some people who have like houses in DR. I'm sure that they could fucking rent it to me for cheap too. I just don't know, because like I told her Costa Rica, and she's like, don't they have like fucking prostitutes on the streets and shit? And I'm like, I don't know. I thought Costa Rica was surfing and eating real food and being in the jungle and ATVing and shit.
Yeah, I'm sure they have both aspects of it.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I know Colombia's bad.
Yeah, Colombia's a no go. But speaking about like
No,
bachelorette, bachelor parties, is there anything where you wouldn't want your fiance to go on, like, or any destination, like a place that where you're like, hey, no.
I don't know. I think she's smarter than that. It's funny. She tried throwing this at me because I knew. I don't know if I had made the comment, but like people would tell me all the time. They're like, "Oh, dude, we gotta go to Colombia." Or like, "Oh yeah, boys, dude, Colombia." I'm like, my response would always be, "You're fucking crazy, dude. Like, I'm not gonna go to Colombia. I'm smarter than that. I'm not gonna put myself in that situation. I'm not even gonna ask my fiance like for what, dude. Like, I don't think it's wise for me to go there,
Yeah.
right?" And then it's funny because one of her friends is celebrating her birthday in January in Colombia. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, she's doing it in Colombia. What do you think?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, what do I think? What do you think?" Like, no, right? Like, it's just funny because, like, she would never let me go. But now that her friend's going, now it's like, oh,
Maybe a possibility.
right? But no, I don't think so. And one thing that I probably say like I wouldn't want is like I wouldn't want her to like have any like strippers and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like kind of what you do. Then again, man, I've seen a bunch of videos of like the dancing bear or whatever, man. They be fucking taking their dicks out and shit. I don't know. I think that's just fucking little X-rated. I don't know if it's really like that. They say that it's not, but I'd rather not. And she said the same thing. She goes, "Oh, I wouldn't want you to have any strippers." And I'm like, "Well, I wouldn't want you to have any strippers." She's like, "Yeah, but it's different when guys do it. Like when a guy is a stripper." Right, because like they don't really go that X-rated. Whereas women, they take their shits off, like they take
But
everything off.
but some guys like they fucking whip their dick out and shit like that.
And those are in the videos you've seen. I don't think they're in the actual things that they do.
Ah.
It's like, bro, two like fucking Cuban guys in like cop outfits, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, toy, whatever." The fuck. I think it's stupid shit. Like they laugh, they joke. They're not even in shape. They're just like funny. Like that, I'll be cool with. But if it's like some good like fucking handsome fucking guy, I'll be like, dude, don't do that. You wouldn't want me to do that shit, like vice versa. So like, don't do that.
It's like a level of respect.
Yeah, call me a fucking insecure fucking bitch, dude. I think respect goes a long way. And
Sure.
That's not really respectful.
Okay, so there's I think both like a middle line and a middle ground, and so you.
But yeah, if she's gonna go with her friends and have a good time, like, yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna do the same. Like she told me, like, "Oh, Costa Rica, don't the fucking." And I'm like, I didn't think so. I
Yeah.
really didn't. Like
Yeah.
I thought it'd be cool. I've always wanted to go to Costa Rica. Not so much for surfing. Although I think like a cool surfing lesson would be dope. Like
That'd be
maybe
sick
surfing
for
with
sure.
the boys for a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Go ATVs. It's just like, beachy, and we can fuck around and just eat shit. Like I don't know. I think that'll be fun,
I think that sounds like actually a really good time.
right?
Yeah.
If not Costa Rica, maybe like a Puerto Rico, DR. I think something like that. That way, it's not like that far where I
Yeah.
have to take a lot of days, but enough where we can still like. It's a
Enjoy.
quick trip and
relax.
then and enjoy the
Yeah.
time there, and then like not feel like shit having to drive fly 8-9 hours from like Europe or some shit, or fucking 24. How long did it take us to get 24 to get to fucking Bali? Fuck that.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I get you.
What about you? What if you could do bachelor party? Where would you go?
Honestly,
Give me some ideas. Since you're not doing one.
I'm not doing one. I don't know. It depends what time
Maybe
of the
you should do
year.
one.
What would I want to get? I don't know. I now as I get a little bit older, like I definitely would want to do something like in nature. Like honestly, I'm
Right.
super wanting to do like hiking, like go out
Right.
like somewhere.
That's what I'm. That's
you
what I'm
know?
saying.
Like I'd be down for that. I don't think beachy is my thing. Like especially as a bachelor trip, I like doing that with my girl. Like if anything, but like I would want to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I would want to
Oh,
go
good
fucking.
point.
Yeah, I would like.
Tell me. I need
Yeah.
ideas. Maybe I need to change my mind.
No, dude. I mean, honestly, what I've really been loving is like, have you seen those videos of like Washington State, Oregon, like out in? I mean, that's like would be like dope.
Okay.
Like going down on the West Coast. If you're staying domestically, the West Coast,
yeah.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
I'm not that crazy.
No,
but
it
like
wouldn't be. But where else? Where else
Washington
would you
State,
have that?
Oregon, I could see that. Like, just like road tripping through like a mountainside and stuff like that.
You
There's a
wanna go to
couple.
Faroe Islands.
Fair Islands would
You've
be
been there.
amazing, but that's far. That's a little bit far. But yeah, like something like that, something out in nature,
That's cool.
like where we could really have a good time and just kind of disconnect, get
Go to
away from a
Iceland
little
again.
bit. Nah, I've done Iceland a few times, but yeah, but like that in that direction,
right,
not
right.
tropical, I mean, although Costa Rica sounds pretty cool actually, but yeah,
It'll
so-
be fun.
but like I'm too old, like not too old, like I'm not like fucking 60 years old, but like if you would tell me, oh, if I can go to a club and go partying or like,
Like, yeah, I could go to Vegas. Fuck that.
yeah.
Yeah, one of my boys keeps saying like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Summer Splash in Vegas." I used to go there like
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
every
it was like
year.
a ritual for you. And
I went there like 4 years, dude. They said that I was or 4 or 5 years. I was like a senior. Like I graduated my senior year. Like, fuck.
yeah, no, like
But it's like, oh, hey, we're gonna go to Vegas. We're doing Summer Splash for Vera's bachelor party, and I'm like, fuck that, dude.
no.
No way.
No. Like yeah, like that's really I'm kind of like past that, but we'll see. I'll keep thinking about it. But I mean, obviously I don't think for you it might be great, but yeah, for me, I'm gonna probably do. What I would like to do maybe is just like have like a boys' night. I think I could see myself doing that. Get
I
together.
mean, like, what about like a boys' weekend,
oh boys? Oh, that'd be kind of cool too.
right? That'd be cool,
That'd
actually.
be actually cool. Yeah, but like
Wanna
like here, staying here.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Or just somewhere. Maybe like Disney. I don't know, but something like that. Yeah, boys night. Because the thing is, I think boys weekend. That way, it's like imagine we could do something like we go out somewhere at night. We go to like a bar, like we get whatever, have some fun, and the next day, like we just like kind of chill, hang out, talk some shit, do something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could be fun.
that could be sick. Yeah, that could be
I
cool.
don't know, bro.
We'll figure it out. But like, yeah, like we're at that stage where it's like going partying, strippers, fucking doing
Hell
like
no.
that shit is like, fuck that,
No, I don't think it's wise. I don't think it makes sense.
gross.
Yeah, happy couples don't do shit like that.
No. But yeah, so now like that engaged. I mean, it not much changed in the relationship. Like I just I'm obviously I'm blessed to have her, but I'm not like, oh my god, things have changed so much. Like no. But yeah, I think it's a good way. We talked for a little bit. I think that's certainly answered the question that this person was bringing up.
Yeah, so stay tuned for what's to come. We'll have updates with the engagement party. We'll have updates with the wedding. We'll have updates with a potential bachelor party. Got something else over there?
Oh, sorry. Like, so I like before we close out. So I responded to this person. She goes, she's like, oh, I had a character limit, so I couldn't elaborate on my response. But it would be great to hear about the men's feelings leading up to the proposal. We talked about how does it feel now that you're engaged? How did you know it was the right time? And when was there any planning before the so we answered most of it, but about the right time, just before we close out really quick. Did you when did you know? Because you were dating for a little bit. I was dating Claudia for a little bit, almost 4 years now.
Yeah, for like about a year
Yeah.
more than me.
Yeah.
I'd say.
So to go to back so based off her question, like when did you know? Why did you know now? Like why now?
You know,
Was it
it's
some pressure?
no. I you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe a little bit. It's funny because like we were talking about you were talking about going to see Rings with Claudia,
Yes.
and then Christina would look at me like, "When are we gonna go see Rings?" So then that's when I'm like, "All right, you know what? Maybe we should go see Rings." And she wanted me to initiate that because she was like, "Oh, I want you to want to. I want you to like you're going to when you want to do it."
Yeah, I
'cause
want
you-
to.
yeah, she'll go. She will go whenever. So then I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. So we went. And for me, it wasn't like I didn't really put a lot of thought into it. To me, it's like, yeah, this makes sense. I don't really need to do this, but I know it's important to her. And if I really want to be with her, and then it's kind of, I don't want to say it's I have to, but yeah, it's somewhat it is some sort of requirement if I want to be with her, and I think it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't really want to put too much thought, and she had been wanting the ring since like last year, like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I told her, I'm like, listen, I get it, and we're also older, but remember that we haven't really been together that long either. Like I get it, people probably get engaged a lot sooner than us, but there's people who have been dating for fucking 5, 10 years.
Crazy.
It's a long time.
It's crazy.
That's an extreme, but still no ring. Or like we've been dating for 7 years. Granted, or maybe they're from like high school sweethearts and they've been dating for fucking ever, and it's like okay, they've been dating for 10 years, but like now they're like at the time where they should whatever. For me, it was more like she wanted it, and you had looked for rings, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it anyways. Let me not just think about it. So I just picked a number that I think it made sense. So for instance, I had asked her out to be my girlfriend on 2/22/22, just so I can remember the number easier. And also, I thought the number was cool. I think it was nice that was the date that was coming up for me to do it. So I'm like, oh man, let me kind of keep this theme, kind of have another number. So when I saw that August 8th, 808, and then 2024, 2 + 2 + 4 is also 8. So it's like a whole series of 8s in that day. So I'm like, I think that's a special day. I think that could be like something memorable that we can kind of like solidify within our relationship. So that's kind of what it was. We're looking at rings. I checked what dates were coming up, and I'm like, I kind of like this date. So I did.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. I think that's.
But I
honest
knew, like,
assessment.
I think deep down I knew that it was her. I mean, granted, she was my kindergarten crush. She sat next to me in kindergarten. That's how I knew her. And since then, I guess I've always had something for her, and made it happen.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, for me and Claudia, like we've been dating for a little bit, and for at first, and even for a while, it's not like I didn't know that I loved her. I wasn't sure that I wanted to be with her for the rest of my life. I was just more scared than anything because I thought it was a huge commitment.
Really?
And I thought like, man, like if you propose, you marry her, like that's for life. It's a big thing. And I'm not big. I know people getting divorced and this and that. Like I'm not a big fan of that. I don't really believe in that. I believe in like unless obviously there's some extreme circumstances. But if you say, hey, I want to marry you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, for life means for life. So for me, it's a big thing. And I was just like, maybe as a guy, I was just like, man, like I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with just one person. Like it's scary. Like what if things change? What if feelings change? What if she doesn't want to be with me? What if down the line I don't want to be with her? Like, not that I thought that was going to happen, but I'm like, oh, like, it's just intimidating. You're 28, 29 years old, 30 years old. You're like, oh, fuck. Like, I don't know. For me, it was just a little bit like a scary feeling. But the truth be told, like, the longer I date her, the more in love I fall with her.
Right.
Like, it's not like people like, oh, they date, oh, things are not the same anymore. I've fallen out of love. I just fall in love with Claudia more and more and more as time goes on. The little quirks, the little imperfections that she had. Like,
It's fun.
I fall in love with her because, people change throughout the years. But each version of her, I just fall in love with her. Like, and I see her for all her flaws and imperfections. And I know she's not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. But I don't love her less because she's perfect. If anything, I love her more because she's real, she's raw, she's vulnerable with me, and she lets me just be myself as well. So
Yeah.
it's just, I'm very humbled to be with her and to experience that love. And so to go back to that question, like, how did you know? I knew because she let me be who I was, and she accepted me for my flaws and imperfections, and same as me with her. And it just felt right. So as early as the beginning of this year, as approach, I just realized myself, like, dude, like, I cannot see myself without her or with anybody else for that matter.
Yeah.
So, and they say, if you would have got a man will know within 6 months, 8 months. I think that's bullshit. I don't think necessarily that's true because when we were dating for 6 months, even a year, marriage wasn't even something that I thought about much, or like
Yeah.
we discussed, but I didn't seriously consider. So I don't necessarily agree with that when people, for some people, they do know, like, oh, yeah, we dated for 3 months and that's it. Like, more power to you. It wasn't like that for me. Not trying to take it away from anybody else or say that my way is right, but I just knew that it made sense at the right moment. And, she never pressured me. And I really respect her for that. She never pressured me. She never said, oh, when the fuck are we going to get married? No. And so I did it on my own accord, and I'm glad I did it when I did it. So, yeah, like, I just, knowing that I loved her more and more as time goes on. So now, like, think about down the line. Think about once we have kids. Think about in 5, 10 years. I can only imagine what life must be like with her as we grow older, and and I'm excited what's next for us. So I know.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's excitement to see what's to come.
Yeah,
Like to look forward to. Man, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen.
yeah.
It's fun.
And even though there's gonna be some amazing days ahead, but there's also gonna be some sad days. Some not so good days
And I'm looking forward to all of them.
because it's with her.
Hey, put that on a bumper sticker, dude.
I like that. That's a
All right,
clip.
end it with that, bro.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for the support for tuning in. If you just got engaged or this year or whatever, you have some insight to share or some feedback or something you want to piggyback. Feel free to leave a comment, leave a like, and let us know. Maybe you
Yeah,
have some
help
insight.
us. What should we expect?
Yeah.
What's to come? Because Marvin's chilling over here while I'm here spazzing out. I need someone to give him a wake up call right now.
No, don't. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Love you guys.
Sorry, y'all.
Ciao.